back to my YouTube channel, guys. So today's video is going to be a little interesting. I wanted to give you guys a little story time today. What is this girl into? Like, I was thinking about this story and that this happened to me, and it's a little traumatizing. I wanted to be famous. I thought that fame made me special. I thought that likes and followers made me a somebody, and it took time to realize, and going through things and this experience, and I think in my head I'm never gonna talk about it again, but I'm just gonna give y'all the truth because I'm on a walk with the Lord, and I just feel like all these things that I went through weren't for no reason. As soon as I shared it, it helped me to start helping other people and sharing my stories with other women. By the title, I got held hostage by a celebrity. Which is crazy because you hear stories, and I see it all the time, you know, you hear stories of like women coming out and being like, oh, I was raped, or I was by this celebrity. All these stories that come out, and the public never believes anybody because celebrities have a lot of fans. And I was already pretty familiar with how the industry was, and that there was some wickedness because I was molested by a photographer when I was 15 or 16 years old. When I was molested by this photographer, which at the time, you know, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, they have followers, and he works with famous people, and he told me he's gonna put me on, he's gonna take my photos, and I'm gonna be a model now. You know, in our heads, when we see somebody with a lot of followers, we automatically assume and treat them like they're a god, you know, like they have so much power, and like whatever they say I'm gonna do. And one thing that he told me though is just how it was so sick. It was like normalized in the industry in Hollywood. Like, you gotta get used to this, or women sell themselves all the time. And after that, and just now going into like adulthood, I was a little bit more cautious. But I ended up getting myself into the situation. So when that happened to me, I'm young, I'm naive, I was sheltered, I was homeschooled. So I've heard about rape, I've heard about people being molested, but I had never experienced that. So when it was happening to me, I froze. Oh, like, I hate that. With my predator, he asked me a lot of questions first, and he got to know me before he molested me. And so when he was doing it, he was using like tactics of like, I care about you. This situation that happened after that. And when it happened after that, I knew like, nah, like I'm not about to walk out here and be raped or molested. Nah, I'm gonna go out kicking and fighting. I did put myself into the situation. I hate saying that, but I did, you know. And so, which it doesn't mean it's right what he was doing, but I wish I moved a little smarter, and I didn't. And this is what happened. So I'm not gonna ever say his name. Like, it's not what this is about. This is just a very interesting story. But he was well known. But when he had slid into my DMs, it was on business, and he was telling me that he wanted to work with me and this and that. Me and him were on a business tip, and he was like trying to get me involved in his clothing line and doing a photo shoot and this and that. And he was like, I'm trying to help you, put you on, da da da. I never went and hung out with him. I was just like, okay, like when I'm out in LA, if you're trying to work, let's work. One day I was out in LA. He had reached out to me, and he was like, oh, are you in LA right now? I see you're in LA. And I was like, yeah. He was like, well, come pick me up from the airport. So I'm like, why? Like, you're a celebrity, pick yourself up. Like, he wasn't even asking me to pick him up. He was telling me to pick him up. At this point, because of what I had been through, I was like, nah, like I'm not gonna let somebody tell me what to do. I'm asking questions now. But at the time, I really did want to work with this person. He had a lot of outlets to things I wanted to do. I wanted to model. I wanted connections with him, but I wasn't gonna let a man just make me freeze up and you're gonna tell me what to do just because you have the clouds. Okay, first I told him, okay, but I'm gonna bring a friend, and he told me, no, don't bring a friend, just come by yourself. And that was when I was like, no, like if I can't bring a friend, I'm not gonna come. And then he was kind of like, well, I really wanted to work with you, kind of like manipulation. Well, I really wanted to work with you, here's some followers, some clout, like, are you gonna take the bait and come? And no, I'm not. So I said, if I can't come with somebody, I'm good, period. So a night came along, so I'm gonna tell y'all what happens. I was with my friends, one of my closest friends. We were underage, wasn't 21. I think I was like 19 or 18 years old. we're trying to get into a club because me and her, we're lit. We go to this one club and they don't let us in because we're not 21. And then we try a different place, they wouldn't let us in, we're not 21, boom, whatever. We're talking about how if we knew someone who was well known, they would let us in. I went on social media and I saw that this specific celebrity that I was talking about, he was at the club. So I was like, oh look, boom, he's at the club. I know him. He would try to work with me. I'm gonna reach out to him to see if he can get me into that same club. So I hit him up and he was like, oh yeah, for sure, slide, I'll get you in. Access. Access. I asked him because I was just even feeling a little more tight. You know, I said, can you Uber us there? So he's like, sure, I'll Uber you. Not a smart move, ladies. I had Ubered myself, so I didn't have a car of my own. I Ubered from Long Beach all the way to Hollywood. So we get into the car, we Uber all the way there, we're outside the club. I meet this guy for the very first time. I will admit, like, I was rude to him because whenever he would message me saying to come alone, I was mean. I was like, no, you got me bent, like, I'm not coming. So when he, you know, he came up and stuff, he was being super nice to me. We walk into the club, we sit at the booth where there was like other like well-known people. You have people from Love and Hip Hop, and I'm feeling tight. And you know, he apologizes to me. Hey, I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable, if I was like being a little aggressive, yada. I hope you can see like I'm genuine and I don't mean no harm. I do really want to work with you, like seeming so nice. So I said yes, like I want to work and I want to be professional. I don't want to just slide on you at your crib. And he was like, well, you know what, let's have fun, let's party, and then we'll have that meeting. We're in there, we're having fun, we're turning up, boom boom boom. He's like talking to me the whole time. He was like, here, you want this? And it was a pill, and he was like, take this. And I was like, nah, I'm good, I don't pop pills. Like, but he pops it himself, he pops the pill. Okay, so I was like, okay, I mean, I'm minding my business. I'm just here with my friends. In the first situation with the photographer, I went alone. I should have never done that, but now that I had my friend, I'm feeling safe. And then he introduces us to his assistant. So my friend knew his assistant, and she was so nice, so kind. She was like, hey girl, like, you're so pretty. I was like, oh my gosh, you too. Like, I feel like I'm in a situation that I can trust. And then he kept repeating like, oh, we're gonna have this meeting afterwards, we're gonna have this meeting afterwards. And I started thinking like, okay. And I see my friend is kind of like, she's gonna really turn, and she's like drifting with her a little bit. And I was like, okay. We finally are leaving. At this point, I'm drunk, I'm wasted. So what happened was the assistant, she took my keys, she took my wallet, she took my phone and gave it to him. Thought she was being nice and carrying my things for me. And I whispered in her ear and I said, do not leave me alone. I said, please do not leave me alone. Whatever you do, make sure you're by my side. Because now I'm feeling a little like sussy. Like, this doesn't seem right. Well, guess what happened, y'all? My friend ended up getting into a different car and leaving with the assistant with my things. And I'm like, well, where's she? Like, you know, I'm supposed to be with her. And he was like, oh, I'm going to take you to her. We ended up driving. And I was thinking to myself, like, bro, what did I get myself into? I really do believe it's a spirit. It's like, it was something that was, like, keeping me from speaking up. But there's these thoughts that run through my mind of, like, don't cause a scene. Just be chill. You know, he's well known. You don't want to take away that opportunity with him. We ended up pulling up these condos. Not home. Okay? Like, why are we here? He was like, oh, we're having our meeting. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, like, we're having our meeting right now. And I'm drunk. Like, you know, I'm pretty lit. I froze. I hate that. Don't freeze. He was like, well, I want to have this meeting with you. I want to talk business with you. So I was like, okay, well. And I told him, I said, I'm in your home, and I'm trusting you right now. I'm putting my trust in you that you're not going to do anything. He was like, no, like, this is all for business. So we're talking for a good hour, and it starts to wear off, but that pill must have kicked in. Y'all, this story is going to sound so fake. We start walking over, he's showing me the view, and he sits on the bed. He's like, oh, come sit next to me. And so I'm like, okay, and I go sit next to him. Very dumb. And then he comes in for a hug, and once he hugs me, he starts like coming on top of me and pulling me like up onto the bed. This is a grown man, by the way. Grown man, and I'm little at this point. I'm thick now, okay? We're on the bed. I froze because it was just a really awkward situation. Like, I don't understand how I get to this point with somebody. At this moment, he had my phone, and on my phone I remember there was a picture of my little sister, and she's 9 now, but at the time she was like 7. I was trying to make up a story to leave. I have to get home to her, I take care of her, I gotta take her to school in the morning, like, and that was my way of trying to get out. Like, I thought he would be like empathetic for it, and he was like, I'll let you go in a couple of hours, but I need you to stay here. I'm getting a little annoyed because I'm like, you're laying on top of me, and I'm trying to be so nice, and it's getting weird at this point, and I need you to get off of me. And the fact that I'm telling you, like, I shouldn't even have to make up a story for you to get off of me, and I asked him to get off of me, he wouldn't. Now I'm trying to make up a story for you to get off of me, and he was like, just let me fall asleep, and when I fall asleep, you can reach into my pocket and you can get your phone and you can go home. He wasn't letting me go anyways, and I did tell him, can you get off of me? He wouldn't get off of me. So he's on top of me, and he was like, rub my back, rub my head. He was like, it'll help me fall asleep. So I'm rubbing this freaking crazy celebrity's head to help him go to sleep, and he wants to feel loved. I don't know, mommy issues, some type of traumatic shit happened to this dude. I don't know. I'm doing this for like 30 minutes. Like, he's on top of me, and I'm waiting for him to fall asleep. I'm waiting for him to fall asleep, and I started hearing him snore. And once I heard him start snoring, oh gosh, so freaking weird, bro. This is traumatic for me to talk about because it's like weird. Like, you're so sick. Like, you're just forcing a girl to like rub your head to fall asleep, and you're on top of this girl who doesn't want to be here. Like, you wouldn't think as a man, like, that's weird. And I start slowly, like, I was trying to be so quiet and trying to make little movements, but I'm trying to get up out of here. I slowly start moving away, and I was doing this for like 15 minutes, like with every little movement, trying to not wake up this dude. And once I finally got, like, slowly start getting up underneath him, he wakes up. And once he wakes up, he like grabs me and moves me right under, and he was like, stay. In that moment, like, a switch went off for me. I was like, Jada, stop freezing. What are you freezing up for? This dude is weird. At this point, this is weird and this is sick. Like, you need to start kicking, screaming, crying, whatever you need to do to get out of the situation. Screw this dude. Screw business. Who cares? Like, this is weird. At that moment, I started crying, and I was just like screaming. I was like, get off of me, get off of me. But he was just like holding me down, and I was kicking. I was bawling my eyes out, and he was like, I just need you to stay for a little while longer. And I'm crying. I'm like, no, I need to get home. I need to get home to my sister. Like, you need to just let me go. Like, I'm not the one. So in that moment, I start praying out to God. Now I know. It's crazy. Wow, that was a freaking demon, bro. There's a whole demon. Woo, don't cry, Jada. I swear, this is so crazy. I started praying out to God, and I said, God, I got myself in this situation. I am praying to you that you help me get it out. And you help get me out without having been raped, without having been molested, God. And I was praying out to the Lord, and he looks at me with like his like arms holding me down, and he was just like looked at me. He like gave like this disgusted face, like, who are you praying to, you know? And he starts laughing. Oh, he was laughing in my face as I was praying. This demonic presence in him started to come out. Wow, y'all, this world is so spiritual. If you're telling me that that's not spiritual, bro, whew, because the Lord is good today. So he started getting really angry as I was praying. He was getting really mad. He got off of me, and he was like, fine, you want to leave? And he finally got off of me, and he had my phone, bro. And he was like, you want to leave? Fine, leave, but your phone's not going with you. I don't have my wallet with me because he gave it to his assistant. I don't have my keys with me. He gave it to my assistant. All I had was my phone, and he had that. And he opens up his window, and he holds my phone outside. He was like, go ahead, leave, try to leave, but you're not having your phone. And I was like, give me my phone, like, please just give me my phone. Like, how else am I gonna get home, bro? He was like, no, go ahead and leave. Like, you know, he's trying to play like mind games with me at this moment. He's holding my phone, he's taunting me with it, and it got to the point in my mind where I was like, you know what, Jada, just screw the damn phone. I was like, fine, whatever, goodbye. And I start walking out, and my phone comes flying past me. He like threw my phone across the room and it like smashed. And I go and I run and I grab my phone because he threw it towards my direction. And I start running out of his place and I go for the door, but right by the door there's a bathroom right there. He chases after me. He pulls me into the bathroom right by the door, and in that moment I was in the bathroom. I swear to you, I put this on my life, y'all, this happened to me. I go into the bathroom and hold me up against the wall and he starts choking me. Full on demon. He's ready to kill me. Bro, I can't believe this happened to me. I put this so far in the back of my head. He starts choking me.